Hello, welcome to the, I don't know, let's pretend this is like a little mini stream. But, what I've got here is a, controller MIDI mapping for this controller over here, as you can see. So, what I've got going on is, let's see, I forgot to open my Firefox. Actually, because of like a Linux bug, apparently, it's only going to work on Firefox on this OS. Not sure exactly why, but anyways, let's open this up. So, what I've got going on here is ignore this. This is stuff for future that I'm working on. Pretty much what I've got going on here is, as you can see in the corner, I'm sort of touching this platter right now, and it's generating MIDI input, which is being picked up by the browser, and it's reflecting it. It's reflecting the output through these numbers there, right? If you've got buttons, they just go 0 to 127, right? This one is actually a knob and a button. Very cool. Although this one is infinite. Oh, you can't see that. This one is infinite, so it's only giving me the direction. It's saying, you know, counterclockwise or clockwise, and then I can decide what to do with that data. These buttons up here. Can you see that? Kind of. All right. Crossfader at the bottom here. These faders. All right. So how I'm doing that is, you can see in the console here, we've got, every time I sort of do that, let's make this a little bit bigger. Every time I like move something, I'm getting a MIDI message. So this one, for instance, is 177, 40, and 122. But as I move it up, I'm getting like different messages for its position. Now I'm using, you see, I'm getting like 2 of the second number. So it's sending it out on 2. I'm calling this the control number in my code, right? Second number, let's call that the control number. Sending out 2 of these. I'm taking the lower one though, because it's a smoother ramp. The other one is like, I don't know, it's weird data. So I'm taking the lower number. Let me show you how I'm interpreting that data. So in my, not this file, in my controller.js, which is being linked to that HTML, I have this list called controller store. So the thing that I was just, that first number, I have a list of those first numbers there, which I'm calling channel in my code. So, and then I have a function in my code, which when the browser is detecting any MIDI input, it's going to look through this list for the channel number. In this case, oops. In this case, that's 177, right? So moving this, that's channel 177. And then it's looking for the controller number, which is beside the name. That fader that I was hitting just now would be the tempo left, or what did I name it? I'm not sure what I named it. Actually, I can check. I can check and see. See if I move this, it should give you, yeah. I named that, so that one's pitch left, because it changes the pitch on this little DJ controller of the whatever track is playing, right? Okay, so that's that second number. So it's going to search for this first number, and then it'll find the second number, and then you get this. And then I'm doing DOM manipulation based on this. So it's finding whichever tag. I'm using like custom named tags. So it would be this one, right? And that one is named pitch left. And that inside that, I've got a p element showing the number. And that's just being changed by that function I told you about earlier. And now I'll show you the function. So, okay, first I have to tell you about Navigator. So to get the MIDI, I'm going into the Navigator, requesting MIDI access. Then I do a then, since it's asynchronous. So it waits for the MIDI access object to be returned from the promise. Well, it waits for the promise, right? And then I run get MIDI inputs. So, and in this function, I'm taking that MIDI access, taking the outputs of it, and that returns a map, which I can get all of the inputs from map by looping through that, right? And then I'm taking this is a method of each input called onMidiMessage, which is listening for MIDI messages. And then I'm sending it to match message controller store and update MIDI view. So this is the thing I was talking about. So this is searching through my controller store, which I showed earlier. And it's matching, it's getting that channel number from here, because I've taken this array output and I've destructured it. I've named that first one channel, second one control number, the third one control value. And then I'm putting those into that function. So once it's in that function, I'm using these to search through. So it's searching through the list of the channel numbers, right? Or the channel, using this channel label variable. Basically this if statement is saying, if it doesn't match, then it just continues with the loop. Otherwise, it doesn't continue with the loop. Basically, that continue is making sure that this doesn't run unless it matches. So if it doesn't match, then this section runs. So I'm using another variable called tag name in controller store, which is searching through these, which are my tag names. Searching through the tag names, right? And it's another if statement, like a protection clause, just like this one. And it's searching for the continue is done if the tag name doesn't match the control number, or if the control number of the current tag doesn't match that control number, right? And then what I'm doing is I'm taking that and I'm putting the tag name into this target tag variable that, well, property of controller store. And I'm using that to do the DOM manipulation here, which I've separated out into a separate function. Good idea, I'm not sure. But yeah, so that's sort of a overview of my code here. And now I'll just retype it. So maybe that would so you can see how it all kind of like fits together. I'll console log out the data so you can kind of see what I'm doing.